me saying nice haircut, which means I guess you can see me. Hey, Hemant, how are you doing? Kongan Jyoti, nice to see you here. Dr. Naseem, nice to see you. Sarath, everyone, welcome today. Hi, Amit, nice to see you here as well. Today is going to be a full power day. Today is going to be a full power session. We plan to go about 55 minutes, and we'll definitely be done by 10 o'clock. Today's intention, today's agenda, today's curriculum, today's schedule, today's lesson, today's topic, today's class, whatever you want to call it, is going to revolve around virtual assistants, how you can really make a pretty much full time income offering your skill set being a virtual assistant. So, hey Shahzad, good to see you. Tarun, Lakshmi, Narayan, let me know where you guys are from in the chat. Let me know which city you are from so we know where our folks are coming in. We have some people coming in on Facebook. I think we're live on YouTube, on Zoom. So you got Chhattisgarh, Pune, Assam, Indore, Mumbai, Bangalore. Hey Shibu, good to see you. Hello Amit, Jayant. Jayant's asking, is this my new house? This is not my new house. This is my new MacBook, my new iMac software, which is helping me be wherever I like in this lockdown. You need a change of scene. Everything becomes kind of boring, so I figured out a nice software to change the background. This is the home office look. If you're interested, I can show you a few other looks once we move forward. All right, so nice to see you here, Nilesh and Sanjay from Bangalore. Hello, Augustine. Nice to connect again on this webinar. The name of the software is called Ecamm. It's called Ecamm Live. Show some other background, please. All right, since you guys asked, I have been playing around with this today. So I'm going to show you behind the scenes because this is part of being a virtual assistant where you can be at the beach. You can be at the beach enjoying your life. You can be at at your home, wherever you like. So Rakesh, I hope that does satisfy your questions. Something else which is pretty cool is the tunnel feature. If you're really getting bored and you want to entertain your audience. But for now, I am going to go back to my home office. It's a cool piece of software, and I like that. It all wraps in pretty well. This is called Ecamm. Yep, this is called Ecamm. Available only on iMac, and we're going to start. We're going to jump in at 9:05. So good to see everyone here participating, and different cities as always from across the world. Montreal, hey Kathy, good to see you here. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen with you. But just type into the chat VA if you are excited about learning more about the opportunities as a VA. In my personal opinion, I think that being a VA is literally the coolest job that you can have. And it depends how you want to see yourself, it depends on how you want to position yourself. But whether you want to call yourself a big fancy digital marketing agency, you could do that. We've done that in the past. You want to consider yourself as a freelancer, you can call yourself a freelancer. But at the end of the day, a virtual assistant, in my opinion, is essentially an entrepreneur with skill. Now, a virtual assistant is someone who can really get a lot of stuff done using the power of the internet. We're going to be talking about how you can get a job pretty much anywhere, not even a job. You can get a gig, you can get a contract, you can get whatever you want. The sky is the limit. The world has changed. The world has drastically changed in 2020. For me personally, it has always been work from home. Like, I've always had the extreme good fortune of being able to work from home. That's why I know these silly things on how to change my background and stuff like that. But now it's almost become a mandate. It's almost become an extremely important skill set for anybody, not just being here in India, but being anywhere in the world, to be able to adapt quickly enough to still be relevant. Software companies have been able to manage pretty well having people work from home, but a lot of industries have struggled, and there's no going back. There's no going back to this is how things were. People have evolved, businesses have evolved, positions have evolved. So I'm really happy to be able to share with you my experience, like my experience in the virtual assistant space is pretty extensive. It's been pretty vast. I started calling myself a freelancer, but really kind of learned the lingo, learned how to get clients internationally, and virtual assistants has pretty much been my primary source of income. I've primarily been depending upon my skill set, things that I've learned, in order to service customers and then charge them some money for my service and the value that I bring to the table. All right. So Omjit says, am I Indian? Yes, I am very much Indian. So I'm going to be sharing with you some really cool resources. Before that, let me go ahead and share screens with you. Let me see if I can do that real quick here. Today is the true test of. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, today is the true test of my iMac capability. We're doing some mega streaming. So we've got, let's check, we've got about 79 people here on Zoom. And then Facebook, got about 20 people on Facebook. So just trying and seeing if this works, if this flies. And with that said, let me go ahead and give you something which I think is going to be pretty awesome for you today. All right, here we go. We're going to start by giving you this checklist. We're going to give you this checklist. You're going to get a downloadable version of the startup checklist today. So if you're interested in doing a virtual assistant, really want to make it easy for you to check mark, go step by step, make sure that you at least have all the components and really figure out, really understand whether this is something that you would want to pursue as a career, pursue as something that you want to be doing for the next so many years. So, all the businesses that I focus on, all the business models that I teach are essentially long term, looking at the next 1 year, looking at the next 5 years, and hopefully, given the way the internet is progressing, for the next decade at least. So, virtual assistance is going to be a position for the next 10 years. So, if you really want to figure out how you can work from home, how you can really challenge yourself, this is perhaps the most exhilarating position that you might ever have, working with entrepreneurs on the front line, working with entrepreneurs, putting out fires, coordinating, seeing successes, seeing failures, seeing things get built, seeing results. Being a virtual assistant really does give you an amazing, amazing look at behind the scenes of a successful business. So type in BTS, type in BTS if you want to see behind the scenes, if you want to really see behind the scenes on what goes on as a virtual assistant. Great. So I've got two checklists that I'm going to be giving you. One checklist is for yourself. You can use this checklist to really make sure that you've got everything covered. And I'm also going to be sharing with you an intake questionnaire. Is going to be a really cool questionnaire that you can potentially ask your customers, your wannabe customers, people who you want to do business with. You're going to be able to give them a checklist so that they know what you can actually execute for them. All right, so I'm going to be sharing this link in the chat once we are done with this. So seeing two screens. All right. All right. So that should be good for now. And the first thing is you really need to ask yourself. So this is going to be a checklist. Let me just zoom in a bit. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a checklist that you can use. It's a handy checklist that every VA should have by their side that follows this blueprint. So this is really a blueprint that we've created from all our years of experience, listed on things that you need to go through. And the first one, which may or not really be that obvious, is you need to have a very clear vision of what you want to be doing. So we start by really recommending this, and we can't recommend this enough, that you have a vision board, and there's plenty of tools, plenty of free software, plenty of templates out there, YouTube videos that will help you build a vision board, followed by setting up your goal, getting your planner, figuring out how to keep yourself motivated, like what are the key metrics, how much money you really need to be earning, not each month, not each month, but really each week, if not each and every day. So I want to give you a formula that you can use as a virtual assistant to make sure that you are earning enough money each and every day. Now, we live in the day and age of the gig economy where salaries have gone, monthly retainers have gone, but where entrepreneurs are really happy to kind of splurge is when they're able to get tangible results for their business. And that kind of makes sense, right? As a business owner, you want to be able to pay someone for the value that they actually bring to the table, not a fixed month on month, no matter what you do, I'm going to pay you the same amount of money. That's really kind of unfair to the employee because no matter what they do, they're kind of capped with their monthly salary. Whereas on the other side, if they're not performing, if they are just there because they're there, it's not kind of fair for the business as well. So the world has seen that. We've seen that happen time and again, where virtual assistants are really playing the bridge. The virtual assistants are really the bridge between success and failure for most entrepreneurs, especially digital entrepreneurs today in 2020. So I'm just going to give you a quick glance at this checklist before I share this with you. But keeping it pretty straightforward, you need to have some business sense. You need to have your business description. You need to figure out your marketing. And this goes pretty deep into exactly what you need to have. Now, obviously, you don't need to have everything at one go. Everything doesn't need to be ready at one time, but you can pick up certain items, maybe from each category, and saying that, okay, I need to work on a tagline today. I need to determine what my expenses are. I need to have a business plan. You really need to have a simple plan. We talk about one-page plans, nothing too complex, something that makes sense, something that keeps you basically in line to accomplish what you set out to do. So, this is going to be one checklist that we are going to be handing over to you today. And another really valuable link that I would highly recommend you check out would be the link which is in the blueprint. We're talking about VA packages. These are packages that we have just researched. These are packages that we've just, figured out based on a lot of surveys that we've done with customers based on what the market really needs. And we've kind of nailed out these top 10 or top 15 categories that you could really look at figuring out, learning the skill set, and then offering this not just to your local city, but internationally, because every single business needs to have a website. Every single business needs to do e commerce. They need to have websites, sales, marketing, tech support. So there are all these different categories that you can look at. And within each category, we've listed down the top 5 to 10 tasks that businesses need to carry out in order to sustain. So, this link is going to be shared with you as well over here. We're going to be sharing this link with you as well so that you will get a more holistic picture of the entire landscape of being a virtual assistant. So, my focus area has primarily been towards digital marketing. That's my background. The virtual assistant can really expand far and wide into things like bookkeeping, in terms of administration, call centers, proofreading, article writing. There's so many different things that you could be doing, and this is really the time, this is really the age, this is perhaps the best opportunity to be able to secure yourself for the next decade or so, having a consistent flow of income. All right, so just type in with you, that's WU, if you're with me so far, if this is making sense and you've understood what the scope really is of being a virtual assistant. And if you are ready, if you're ready to do a little bit of an exercise with me, I'm going to kind of help you show you a formula. I'll help show you a formula of how you can really start accomplishing your monthly goals, how you can really make as much money being a virtual assistant. We'll jump into the math, and I'm going to show you a pretty cool formula that I discovered today just before the call. And if you are attuned to any kind of synchronicities, if certain numbers interest you, I think I'm going to be able to show you some really cool math that you can use in order to see the potential of being a virtual assistant and exactly how much money you need to earn on a daily basis. Because only if you know how much money you need to earn in a day can you figure out how much money you need to earn in an hour. If you are able to figure out your hourly rate, if you're able to figure out your daily rate, if you figure out your weekly rate or monthly rate or yearly rate, I think that is going to put you in a much better position to figure out whether this industry could be for you or whether it's something that you want to skip on. So I'm going to do my best in sharing with you whatever information I've accumulated. But from my research, a lot of people want to earn the magic 1 lakh a month figure. So type in 1L if you think that earning an additional 1 lakh a month being a virtual assistant would be of interest. All right. So we've got 1L. We have about 110 people here who are joining us, which is awesome. And let's take a look at 1 lakh. Now, a simple bit of mathematics. If we are to divide that by the number of days, right? If we are to divide that by the number of days in a month, divided by 30, simple math. If any math genius wants to help me out in the chat, let me know. If you were to divide this by 30, what would you get? 3333. Awesome. 333 and 3. So since we are talking about earning in dollars, if we're looking at earning in US dollars, Let's take a look at what 3333 is in US dollars. So I'm going to take it at about 75. It fluctuates here and there. But if we were to just do a bit of a conversion, if you're able to do a bit of a conversion, it goes to 44.44. So you've got 33.33 over here. And if you were to just put it in dollars for fun, we'll have it 44.44 over here. Getting the symbol here as well, the rupee symbol. All right. Oops. So we've got I'm just rounding it up to 75 because it fluctuates here and there. So now if we were to work for 8 hours in a day, that's a typical corporate scene. Most of us work well over 8 hours, but say if you were to work 8 hours in a day, we'll divide that by 8, and you're going to get a magic number of 5555, which would be $5.55. Type in super cool if you think that these numbers are going to be easy for you to remember. We started with a lakh and we said we'll do it in rupees. That means we have to earn 3,333 rupees every day, which translates to roughly $44.44 per day. And if we were to work for 8 hours a day, that would mean that in order to earn 1 lakh rupee a month in India, you need to have an hourly rate of $5.55, right? So this is one way that you can figure out your hourly rate, and this is always going to be a subjective. Now, someone who's got a lot more experience can charge more. Someone who's got less experience will charge less. This is kind of going to be the average virtual assistant's earning, and this is global. If you look at the Philippines, if you look at Bangladesh, if you look at Pakistan, India unfortunately is kind of lagging back in the space of VAs, but I think that's about to change right about now. So, with that mindset, I really want to hook you on, I really want to tune you in to what the gig economy really is all about and how you can earn $5.55 pretty easily in order to earn your 1 lakh a month. All right, so we'll be taking questions towards the end. Like I mentioned, it's going to go from 9 p.m. to 9:50, and then we'll keep the last 10 minutes for burning questions that you guys have. So this is going to be your hourly figure. Now, the next technique, the next thing that you really need to understand is how do you get clients, right? How do you get clients? What do you need to do in order to get clients so that clients pay you this $5? Without clients, without finding people who you can be a virtual assistant for, simply won't work without this magic word called clients. So I'm going to leave this for now, and I'm going to share with you another resource. Okay, I'm going to share with you another resource. All right, so I'm going to share with you another resource which I hope is going to be extremely valuable for you and is something that you can hold on to. And this is called the Virtual Assistant uh, Intake Questionnaire, right? This is going to be an intake questionnaire. And I really believe that if you simply walk through this process, if you simply walk through this process with a potential customer, if you walk through this process with a potential customer, the chances of them converting into a lifelong customer are going to be extremely high. So this is a handy client intake questionnaire that every virtual assistant should have. And what this is going to do is you're going to be able to obtain some general background. You're going to be able to ask them things like their admin tasks. What are they currently doing themselves? You need to ask them about their business. What is their business about? You need to be able to understand their business and what tasks that they are currently looking at delegating. Now, the secret here is that you will already have a huge list of tasks that are going to be available that you can do. But remember that this is the intake questionnaire. This is where just getting to know about your potential customer. And the idea is to listen to them, not try to pitch to them saying that, hey, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. You need to really ask them like what their pain points are, get as much information as you can from them before you proceed. So here you're going to figure out things like email, who's doing these tasks. Like for example, today I had a task to reply back to about 120 emails, and I wanted to reply back to each of them. So I just got a VA who was able to reply back to about 120 emails. I'll show that to you as well on how simple that is and how efficient a business owner can really be by outsourcing things like email, outsourcing things like social media, outsourcing things like content, outsourcing things like video editing, pay per click marketing, website design, WordPress. So, by going through this entire intake questionnaire, let's see if I can just maximize it over here. By going through this entire questionnaire with your customers, you're going to be able to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes with them, understanding what their pain points are. And once you have a documented strategy, once they've invested 15 minutes with you, and then you go ahead and make your proposal, that's when the magic truly starts to happen. So here are the links for you. This is one link, and this is the other link. Let me just copy and paste that for you. We've put it onto Google Drive. We put it onto Google Drive, so you can simply see if I can copy paste this. No, I can't copy paste it. So we're just going to get these files sent to you right away. We're going to make sure that you get access to this. And the last thing that I want to share with you is the 10 by 10 plan. The 10 by 10 plan. I just want to make sure that you have access. I'm just going to